What's going on, my fellow A-plussers? It is I, your host, as always, Adam Perez, back once again with another video for you guys today. As honestly, Tuesday's been a lot busier than I personally thought it was going to be. In fact, this week so far, just 2 days in, have been relatively busy. Monday, we wind up getting a reveal and some set photos from Deadpool 3, showcasing us Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in a comic book accurate costume for the very first time. So Monday was crazy already. But then Tuesday, thinking it was going to be rather quiet, we got a Willy Wonka trailer, we got an Ahsoka trailer, which we just did a review for earlier today, as well as a Blue Beetle trailer. That's right. They are just unleashing a ton of marketing and promotion. Probably either because it's right before San Diego Comic-Con, or there's also an impeding strike. And so they probably want to try and get as much promotional material out before that certainly happens. And I'm so glad they did, because DC Studios delivered with a final and great trailer for Blue Beetle. Now, to be clear, we've got two more DCEU films that are in fact set to drop. We got Blue Beetle later this year, along with Aquaman 2 that's going to be dropping at the end of the year. James Gunn has already made it clear that the Blue Beetle character you see in this movie will also be taking place in his DCU world that he's creating. But the official DCU movie, it doesn't necessarily drop until Superman Legacy, and I think they also have an animated series just before that, Creature Commandos. But Blue Beetle, the DCU character we see in this movie, will be popping up in James Gunn's world. So let's go ahead and dive into this particular trailer, man, because this was the last trailer that we're going to be having. And if you were trying to get me even more hyped than I already was for this film, I think this trailer certainly does that. From the previous two trailers that we've had, it feels very much like they've tried to get us over with showcasing the costume and how cool it looks, some great humor, along with some great charm from not only Xolo, who's going to be playing Jaime Reyes, but also his family. In this trailer, though, it definitely feels like it highlights not only the special effects, it highlights the suit more, and even some amazing action and a closer look at maybe one of the possible villains of this particular movie. Now, this trailer is about 3 minutes long, maybe like 15, 20 minutes, 20 seconds, a little bit too long, if you ask me. There are some scenes I probably could have done without in this trailer. The very ending where we got Grandma with the laser Gatling gun, that's kind of a moment I personally would like to have seen in the movie theaters as a surprise, because I do think you would get some great laughter and great applause out of the audience. So I do think that, and not that it's spoilerish, but it kind of spoils those great moments, you know what I mean? And then probably half of the action in this movie. There are moments in here where I feel like I'm watching the final battle of the movie. I'm certainly hoping that that's not the case. It does seem as though this villain's costume is either rudimentary at one point in time, and then he eventually gets the upgrades, or that's just how his suit looks, and during the battle he loses portions of it. So I don't really know exactly like how many battle sequences or fights that we're going to be getting in this particular movie, but there were a lot of action pieces, to certainly say the least. So I probably could have gotten rid of about half of those, and it's only because of the fact that it reminds me kind of when I watched Ant-Man and the Quantumania trailers. The very last trailer that they had, it was a bunch of action between Kang and Ant-Man, some really important sort of dialogue that was revealed in the trailer that I wish that they had just left out so I can enjoy sort of the finale properly when it comes to that third Ant-Man movie. And so that's my worry here too with this particular Blue Beetle. Some great action shots, not saying that the action didn't look great, but maybe give me half of that and I probably would have been an even happier camper, if you will. But the action pieces look great in here. There are moments when it kind of reminds me of like the final battle from Iron Man, if you will. But it does feel as though the stakes are not as big as saving the world. Very much more feels like saving your neighborhood, as this is going to be very family oriented, with Jaime along with his family, and him becoming a superhero for the very first time. So I definitely do think that they have translated that very well in the trailers, and I think this is going to hit a majority of audiences that certainly do go ahead and see it, just because of everything that it certainly has to have to offer. Again, a family dynamic, which is one of the aspects of like the first Shazam movie I was a really big fan of. It feels like they have some pretty strong supporting supporting characters that I think will help elevate the movie, along with help elevate Xolo Mariduena as the lead actor in here as Jaime Reyes. So, he's got some clearly very close attachments to his family, as most Hispanic and Mexican families certainly do. George Lopez is definitely there as the comedic support. And I even love the beginning of this trailer, where you've got George coming up with the idea, like, you gotta push it out of you, you gotta force it out of you, sort of thing. And this gives Jaime the maybe not so great idea to throw himself off of the building. But really cool shot of when he does and he's flailing his arms, how the suit kind of activates, takes over, saves him, and then like shoots off into the sky. So some really great showcasing of the costume, some great close-ups in here, and some really great images. I love seeing Xolo in this costume, especially without his mask on. We don't get to see it too often in this trailer, but there's two times that really stand out to me. One, when he's telling the villain that his family makes him stronger. I thought that was a really impactful scene. And then there's a scene towards the end where he's literally running away from a fireball before he makes that giant leap to catch onto the Blue Beetle mobile, or I don't know what they I don't know what they refer to it as, but I thought it was a really cool shot of just seeing Xolo's face as Jaime while still rocking the costume also. So look, I think this is going to be a really great introduction to a brand new DCU character. They haven't shown me anything that has taken me out of not wanting to see this movie. And honestly, despite the trajectory and the downward trajectory, I would say, of the box office, I really hope people go out and see this movie, because it looks like it's going to be a smaller film, which is something that I've been asking for, because I'm kind of over the multiversal stuff right now. So a smaller movie that's very singular focused on one hero trying to save the day sounds right up my alley, honestly. But some great shots in here. Love seeing him catch like the villain's hand, and as he starts to turn into Blue Beetle also. And again, man, just some really stunning visual effects. And the idea of this movie not having come out sooner, I am hoping has really helped the special effects, and they've been able to really tune it to look spectacular on screen. Because from all the trailers right now, I'm truly loving what I'm seeing, guys. But look, at the end of the day, these are just simply my A+ opinions. I always want to know yours. What's your level of excitement for Blue Beetle after checking out this final trailer? Do you think they showed too much? Did it spoil too much? Or just enough to certainly get your butt in that seat? Definitely go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts on this Blue Beetle trailer in the comment section box below. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for us here. We'll certainly catch you this upcoming Sunday afternoon for another episode of A+ Hero Report. But until then, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Nana? I advise we